The New Jersey Devils are going to the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Jersey Joe! Jersey Joe! Jersey Joe! Jersey Joe! Jersey Joe! Jersey Joe! Jersey Joe!
So I'm back, and a lot of things are new if you couldn't tell. It's been a really busy couple of months, but I figured why not wait until the New Jersey Devils make the playoffs to actually record another video. So just to recap where I've been the past few months, God, I don't even know where to start. So if you noticed, my last episode was back in November, and right after I posted my last episode, I got a job offer. And then that kind of just started the whole process of changing jobs. And then the holidays hit, and then I went on vacation right around the start of the new year. And then I started my new job at the beginning of January. Moved into this new apartment, and just been plugging along ever since. Actually, scratch that. Moved twice, actually. So I moved in my first apartment in January. The lease was up in February. I moved in with my fiance and a few other people. And then the lease was up in a month, so then we moved to this apartment at the end of February. So for the past 3 months, I moved twice, started a new job, and I now live in Brooklyn, New Jersey, about 5 blocks from Barclays. And it's a bit interesting being in, I guess you can call it Islanders territory, but it's really not. It's still Brooklyn. There's really no Islanders presence here, even within the block that Barclays is on. It's like they don't exist, and it's actually kind of sad as a hockey fan, but regardless, I just wanted to give you an update of where I'm at right now. And the New Jersey Devils have made the Stanley Cup playoffs for the first time since 2011 and 2012, and I could not be more stoked. And I'm oddly optimistic about really our chances going in. I'll get into the details, but we're looking pretty good the past few games, even with Keith Kincaid and net. There's so much that I have to go over. I've missed so much since November, pretty much the whole season. So I don't want to recap really what happened. We all know, if you're a fan of the team, you've been following, you know what's been going on. It's been an exciting season. There's been a lot going on, good and bad, but mostly good. Taylor Hall is having a heartworthy season. Keith Kincaid is now our starter. Fortunately, Mojo's been hurt most of the season, but he's sure showing he's a first overall pick. Jesper Bratt is showing, or Jesper Bratt, I guess you can call him the American name. Ran out of gas a little bit, but he's a 6th round pick. He's 19 years old. He's already showing some amazing skill on our top line. Brian Boyle was an awesome pickup. There's just so much going into the season. I don't want to condense it into one episode. What I do want to talk about, though, is the playoffs, because we're in them. We are in them, and I'm not actually sure how to feel. And I'll explain. So, it's looking like we're going to face Boston in the first round. Not my first choice, not many's first choice, but there's some silver lining to that. The biggest reason people are concerned is because our season series against them didn't go really well at all. We went 0-2-1. Didn't win a single game. But a few people have been saying, and I've been looking back at the game records, they were close games. One was a shootout that I think went 6 or 7 rounds that we lost. And the other 2 were, I believe, 1-goal games where we essentially could have won it, but it was, luck that made us lose it. And I hate blaming luck, but it really was a close enough game that a single bounce could have decided it. So we could have easily went, 2-1-0 or 2-0-1 in that series, and instead we went 0-2-1. So we don't match up that badly against them. And with a fully healthy lineup with Mojo in, and with maybe, I'm assuming, Schneider back to form, again, I don't know what Schneider's going to be like. But with a fully healthy roster, I think we can take Boston to at least, 6-7 games. If we get knocked out in the first round, I'm okay with that. if you looked back at the rankings back in September, we were going to be below Detroit. We were going to be below every other team in the Eastern Conference. We were supposed to be 29th or 30th. I think Vegas was actually picked to be better than us. Again, a whole other story with Vegas, but I don't want to get into that now. But we were not supposed to do this well whatsoever. So the fact that we had such a wonderful season and then we make the playoffs, the rest is just bonus at this point. I mean, I don't want to get swept, but if we're a competitive team in the first round, we bang up the Bruins a bit and we take them to 5, 6, 7 games, I'm completely okay with that. That's a win in my book, because it just means that that's the floor for next season and we can only go up from there. And if we do make it past the first round, then that's just a bonus. So it's we have nothing to lose at this point, and I'm just looking forward to some competitive playoff hockey with the New Jersey Devils in it for the first time in 5 years. So I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I didn't become a fan. Let me rephrase that. I didn't become an obsessed fan until the 2011-2012 Cup run. I had been a Devils fan since I was about 8 years old, but I didn't follow them like I do now until that Cup run. And then I regret it. I regret, being there during the prime Elias years and the prime Gomez years, but I'm looking forward to the Hischier and Hall years now. So it's, for the first time, it's something to look forward to in my team, and to see how our team just did a complete 180 this season. Yeah, we don't have Taylor Hart. We're looking at a second or third overall pick, but we do have Taylor Hall. And we do have Hischier, who's going to grow over the summer. We do have Bratt, who's going to grow over the summer. We have a whole pipeline of prospects who are hopefully going to develop into full-time NHLers. And we have a young, fast, and skilled team that people are now afraid to play against. And that's such a good feeling. It's such a good feeling. We've always been counted out. We've always been the game where you play your backup, or the game where you would just assume it's going to be a win or at least get a point in overtime. And no one really thinks twice about playing the Devils. But now, people are afraid to play us. There's comments from other teams, or fans of other teams, who are just scared. They don't want to play us. They don't want to be matched up against us. Tampa Bay, Pittsburgh, they don't want to get matched up against us. We took Pittsburgh 3-0-1 the season series, and we swept Tampa 3-0. They're afraid of us. The Tampa Bay Lightning don't want to face the New Jersey Devils in the Stanley Cup playoffs, and that is a sentence I never thought I'd be saying, at least not this season. Tampa Bay is far away the favorite, but people are saying if they face New Jersey, there may be some issues. Pittsburgh wants to three-peat. They don't want to face us. And because Ray Shero had his hands in making the Pittsburgh team as it is now, they're a lot like us, but they're older. Malkin and Crosby, they're good, but they're getting up there in years. They're in their late 20s, early 30s. Kessel's getting up there in years. They're not bad. They're one of the best teams in the league. But when you build a team on skill and speed, young is always going to be better. And the New Jersey Devils are much younger than the Pittsburgh Penguins, and it shows. We outclass them in speed. We're not as skilled as they are, but when you're faster, that doesn't matter as much, and the bounces can go your way. We can put pressure on them, and we saw that all season with Pittsburgh. I went to the one game where the Devils beat the Penguins 4-1 a couple months ago, and I think Pittsburgh had 16 shots on goal the entire game, which was the lowest they've had all season, and I think a couple other seasons as well. And the reason is because we just had so much speed on them. We just kept their defense hemmed in the zone. We kept putting pressure on their defense. We kept just keeping the puck in the offensive zone, and they couldn't do anything about it. We played keep away for a good 60 minutes. And that's the type of game the New Jersey Devils play. And we do struggle with teams that are a bit bigger bodied and a bit heavier. The Washington Capitals haven't beaten them this season. Same with the Bruins. Haven't beaten them this season. We get bodied pretty easily. But when you face up against similarly skilled teams in terms of Tampa and Pittsburgh, we do pretty well. And that's why I'm really excited to see what the standings shift for the next week or so, to see who we're going to play. Again, it's looking like it's going to be Boston, but we don't know that for sure. It could be Pittsburgh. It could be Tampa. It could be any other team in the Eastern Conference that's going to make it to the playoffs. It's a toss-up at this point. But I can't believe I'm sitting here in April talking about playoff matchups with you guys. It's it's been a wild ride, and I am so happy to be back. I finally feel settled to sit down and really get into some analysis with you and start some conversations again. It's been a crazy couple months, but I'm really glad to be back. And I may dip into the rest of the season and do some quick videos on my thoughts of Kincaid versus Schneider, on what I think of Brian Boyle's season, what I think of Grabner, and what I think of Maroon. There's a lot I can talk about, but there's so much ahead of us that I don't think I'm going to have time to delve into it, at least until the summer. So I just wanted to get this video out here and just focus my excitement for the playoffs on something. I think my coworkers don't give two shits about hockey, let alone New Jersey Devils, so there's got to be some target of my just aggressive hockey analysis. So this is my outlet, and you guys are my target. And so I'm hoping you listen. I'm hoping you guys ask some questions, give me some suggestions on what videos you want me to make. Even just give me a Q&A if you want me to answer something that you want to hear my thoughts on something. Just let me know. I'm open to anything at this point. There's really no rhyme or reason. There's no 31 teams in 31 days or anything formulaic like that. I'm just here to talk hockey, and again, I'm here for a long time. I'm not looking to go anywhere, so look forward to the next video regardless of what topic it's on, and let's go watch the New Jersey Devils in the Stanley Cup playoffs. I still can't believe that, and it's really weird to hear me say that. But see what happens.
Joe's got some insights you're gonna need to hear. Slap shots and fist fights. Let's get something clear. Come meet the guy who runs it. Knows how to keep it clean. He knows the hockey pundits. He knows that hockey scene. Jersey Joe! Jersey Joe!